The Roman postal service once made people disappear so efficiently that senators would kill themselves rather than face them. These mailmen were so feared that hardened generals who fought barbarian hordes would break into cold sweats just hearing their name. Welcome to the world of the Frumentarii, Rome's most lethal secret police who started as the ancient equivalent of UPS drivers. And trust me, this career pivot makes switching from accounting to influencing look like child's play. The word frumentarii comes from frumentum, grain. These men managed food supplies across the empire and ran the imperial courier network. They delivered government messages from Scotland to Syria, handled logistics, kept room fed. Boring work, safe work, the kind of job your Roman mother would be proud of. For decades, they rode horses between cities, delivered scrolls, grabbed drinks at taverns, complained about their saddle sores. The most exciting thing that happened to them was occasionally getting chased by bandits. They were basically ancient FedEx drivers with slightly better job security and way worse GPS technology. But here's where our story takes a turn darker than Emperor Caligula's browser history.
Hadrian was brilliant, but paranoid enough to make a modern conspiracy theorist look chill. He saw plots everywhere, behind every marbled column, in every senator's smile, probably in his breakfast omelette. The man built a wall across Britain just to keep people out, which should tell you everything about his trust issues. But Hadrian had a stroke of evil genius. His mail carriers already traveled everywhere, entering military camps, provincial capitals, wealthy households. They had access to everyone and everything. People trusted them completely, because who suspects the mailman? They're just there to deliver your Amazon package, not overthrow your government. So Hadrian pulled these courier guys aside and made them an offer they couldn't refuse. While you're delivering letters, maybe read a few, listen to tavern gossip, keep notes on who's getting too big for their togas. Oh, and report everything back to me. Just like that, Rome's postal service became history's first intelligence agency. Imagine if your local mail carrier was secretly working for the CIA. That's basically what happened, except with more togas and lead poisoning.
Operating from the Castra Peregrina in Rome, they built something the empire had never seen, a systematic surveillance state that would make modern social media companies jealous. They recruited delatores, professional snitches who sold out anyone for a handful of silver coins. Your neighbor, your business partner, your own brother could be secretly reporting your private conversations to the government. Made a joke about the emperor's new hairstyle at dinner, reported by Tuesday. Complained about taxes while buying bread, filed away for future reference. Wrote a letter criticizing imperial policy. Surprise, they read it before your recipient ever did. The genius was in how normal it all looked. A frumentarius could walk into any tavern across the empire, order some wine and just listen, while everyone assumed he was another tired government worker grabbing a drink after delivering mail all day. Meanwhile, he's mentally cataloguing every complaint, every joke, every hint of disloyalty. But here's where the story gets really dark. When simply listening to your private conversations wasn't enough control for the emperor, the Frumentarii got a deadly promotion.
The Frumentarii evolved from postal workers into something far more sinister, professional problem solvers. And by problems, I mean people. Inconvenient people who needed to stop existing. Got a governor in some distant province who's getting too popular with his troops? No problem. A couple of Frumentarii would show up disguised as imperial auditors, flash some official-looking documents, conduct a thorough inspection of his finances, and miraculously discover evidence of embezzlement that definitely wasn't planted there 5 minutes earlier. Within weeks, the governor would be stripped of everything he owned and exiled to some god-forsaken island where the only entertainment was counting seagulls. But sometimes, even public humiliation wasn't enough. Sometimes the emperor needed someone to just vanish permanently. This is where the Frumentarii truly earned their terrifying reputation. They became artists of assassination, craftsmen of the quiet kill. They studied poison like modern students study for finals, obsessively and with lots of coffee. They knew exactly how much wolfsbane would simulate a heart attack, how to stage a convincing robbery gone wrong, and most impressively, how to psychologically torment someone into taking their own life without ever laying a finger on them. Think about that for a second. Roman generals who could charge into battle against screaming Germanic warriors wielding massive axes would literally shake with fear at the thought of meeting a Frumentarius. These were men who made their living through violence, and they were terrified of postal workers. That's like Navy SEALs being afraid of your local DMV employees.
For over a century, the Frumentarii were untouchable gods who answered only to the emperor. They could arrest anyone, seize any property, eliminate any threat, all with complete legal immunity. But as Uncle Ben never told the Romans, with great power comes absolutely zero responsibility. Absolute power corrupted absolutely, and boy did it corrupt spectacularly. The protectors became predators with government badges. Why use your spy network to protect the state when you could use it to get rich? Why eliminate actual threats when you could eliminate anyone who annoyed you personally? They started blackmailing wealthy merchants. Nice business you have here. Shame if someone found some tax irregularities. They seized property from innocent families by manufacturing evidence against them. Got into a personal beef with your neighbor? No problem, just plant some treasonous letters in his house and watch him disappear forever. The tools designed to protect Rome became weapons of personal terror and profit. Romans from every social class learned to watch their words, trust absolutely nobody, and live in constant paranoia. The Frumentarii had become a bigger threat to imperial stability than any barbarian army could ever be. Which is saying something, considering barbarian armies were literally trying to burn Rome to the ground. Enter Emperor Diocletian, a no-nonsense military man who looked at the Frumentarii situation and basically said, "Yeah, this isn't working." He saw them for what they'd become, a corrupt, uncontrollable monster that was more interested in lining their own pockets than protecting his empire. So Diocletian did something that shocked everyone. He publicly disbanded them, shut down their headquarters, scattered their agents to the wind, basically fired the most feared organization in Roman history. The people celebrated in the streets like they'd just won the ancient equivalent of the Super Bowl. But here's the twist that makes this story absolutely brilliant. And if you're enjoying these insane historical plot twists, you're going to want to subscribe, because I've got dozens more stories about secret organizations that make the Frumentarii look like amateur hour. Emperors don't actually give up power. They just rebrand it with better marketing. While everyone was celebrating the end of the Frumentarii nightmare, Diocletian was quietly building their replacement in the shadows. Meet the agentes in Rebus, the agents in affairs. Same terrifying job description, same deadly skills, but with better management and a catchier name. He hadn't destroyed Rome's secret police. He'd just given them a corporate restructuring and new leadership. The sword hadn't been melted down, it had been reforged, sharpened, and handed to more reliable assassins. It's like firing your entire marketing department and then immediately hiring a new marketing department, except the marketing department specializes in making people permanently disappear.
The Frumentarii reveal something crucial about power that remains true today. Every government needs its shadows. Every ruler needs enforcers. The question isn't whether secret police will exist, but whether they'll serve the state or themselves. Rome lasted over 1,000 years partly because it mastered internal control. The legions conquered barbarians, but the Frumentarii conquered Roman hearts through fear. They proved the most dangerous enemies often wear familiar faces and carry official documents. Were they necessary protectors of civilization or state-sanctioned terrorists? Drop your thoughts below. Don't worry, I'm probably not keeping tabs on your opinions. If you want more stories about history's most dangerous organizations, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Sometimes the most terrifying enemies are hiding in plain sight, delivering your mail with a smile.